may not realize it, but inside your pre-2022 Lexus GX460 is a complimentary ColecoVision. Of course, I'm speaking about the antiquated infotainment system that Lexus foolishly stuffed into these vehicles. Now, you might think that was just the era. Lexus didn't have time to update it. But in the world version of this car, the Land Cruiser Prado, they actually updated the infotainment system years prior. In the current Lexus GX460, they didn't update it until after the 2022 model year. So today, we're going to talk about how we can fix that problem here. Fix the infotainment system with this thing. It's a carpu ride or carpu ride, 10.5 inch or something, big screen.
Infotainment, that's what it is. Add-on infotainment. You get the idea. So it comes in a box like this, and it's all well packaged. And the idea is you basically plug it in your car's 12-volt cigarette plug, and you power it on, and through Bluetooth, it will allow you to get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto on this big 10.3 inch or whatever it is screen. It's a huge screen. So in the box you get everything you need. There's the plug to plug it in, and you get a sticky mount and a suction mount. Pretty much standard stuff. Again, everything is well packaged and looks to be of good quality. So once you get this thing unboxed, it's just a matter of figuring out where you want to put the thing on your dash, and then you're pretty much good to go.
Now, there's two ways to do this install: clean or dirty. We're going to do the dirty way.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead with the dirty install here because we may have to take it out at some point. So I don't care about how the wires go and what it looks like. It just needs to function. We also live in the desert, so I'm concerned about it baking in the sun out here. It's going to sit in the dash. It's going to be 120 in the summer, 140 in the car, and we want to make sure this thing is going to work. But if for some reason it does fail, we want to be able to uninstall it or delete it without issue. So on the dash it goes, and there it is. It looks pretty good. Again, this is the dirty install. You can install it clean and make it look as OEM as you want. It fits perfectly, the size of it. If you line it up true center above the old infotainment, it does look OEM. Alright, so let's hit the road and let's see how this carpu ride system does. And as you can see, we have it kind of off center there. There's a little bit of shaking there, but keep in mind we live off-road and we're on a washboard road. You can see the passenger seat shaking too. So this is the brutal road. We're on a hardcore road, and the way we have it mounted, there's just going to be some shaking. And I tried to put it down, basically resting on the OEM dashboard there, or the OEM center portion of the dash, but it still shakes up and down a little bit. So keep that in mind, that it may do that unless you install this thing pretty square on the dash, like the example of the clean install. But on road, so in other words, if you take this thing on pavement, it's probably not going to do that. Now, we haven't taken it on road yet, but I just know from experience that it's not going to shake that much on road. I'm not worried about it at all. That's the bottom line. But some people may be more sensitive to things like that shaking. My logic here is that this is just aftermarket stuff, or aftermarket junk. Not saying it is junk, but it's just aftermarket stick-on stuff that's meant to do a job. It's meant to, do Google Maps for me, which we're going to talk about in a second. And that's it. And as you can see, that's what it's doing. We finally get a decent navigation that's very easy to see. We have this screen tilted towards the driver a little bit, so even though it's on the passenger side of that center portion, it is tilted, you know, towards the driver a few degrees, kind of like the old you know, Hondas back in the late 80s, early 90s. They used to kind of center the dash towards the driver to make it easy to see. So it's very easy to look at, and it's doing its job. It's doing its job just fine. And other than the minor vibrations, which are to be expected, we are happy with it.
So the whole point of this thing, at least for me, is to use it for navigation, Google Maps. The stock navigation on your pre-2022 Lexus GX460 is completely broken. It comes with an electronic typewriter that's absolutely useless. Yes, typewriter, where you have to type in things manually, and the database is from 20 years ago. It just doesn't work. It does not work. It's completely broken. So this is a welcome addition, as it allows us to have Google Maps, which simply works. Now, time will tell as far as reliability, how long this thing lasts. As far as features, I'm not sure what it doesn't have. If you want to do Bluetooth music through Spotify or whatever, it'll broadcast Bluetooth back to your car stereo through your Mark Levinson stereo system, and you got that. It has everything. So the only question for me is reliability or longevity, and for that, I have to give it an undecided rating. But as far as here and now, how it works, it's all good. All right, if you found this video helpful or useful, please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you, and have a great, great day.